Good evening, hello and welcome. You're tuned in to Revive FM 94.0, where the heart of Newham community beats. Don't forget to like, subscribe and comment on our YouTube page, Revive FM UK, and follow us on Facebook and Instagram under the same name. My name's Khadija. I'm here again with Friends of Queen's Market. And later on, we're going to be speaking to one of the traders, Mr. Sharma. Okay, how are you guys doing today?
Fine.
Yeah, pretty good.
Good. It's freezing, but good.
It's cold.
Yes. The discussion of the week. Any updates on the market?
Yes, lots of updates. First of all, I'll start with the bad news, which is that there is no lighting at all in Queen's Market car park. So everyone's been complaining in the market, complaining officially, because it gets dark early and the market car park is a scary place right now.
Someone making a horror film. Halloween's gone.
Yeah. So the traders have been promised that it'll be put right. They met with the management and it was quite a stormy meeting. They got promised that the car park lighting will be turned on, and I hope the council keeps to their promise. They also got the promise that the market lighting would be improved, and they were they were actually consulted. Don't faint.
Shock horror.
They were shown different lighting arrangements,
scandal,
which they preferred. So that's fairly good news. The other news is really interesting. We've been asking what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the question of the future of the market has been shoved to a new department.
Ooh.
Instead of the Green Street programme,
Yeah.
there's a project manager who's going to be in charge of the market, and the title is Regeneration and Housing Delivery.
What does that even mean?
Means you must have housing.
I guess so. But they made nice noises and they want to talk to us, so that makes a change. But what they have said is that the public engagement back in May, when people wrote what they wanted on post-it slips, it hasn't been published yet. They will publish it. And they'll do all that before they...
Did they say why? Because it's been a long time since that alleged consultation.
They did not say why. No. But anyway, and as you know, their website shows that they're talking to the council about drawing up plans for the future of the market. But the website is lying. The good project manager told us. It will be updated and it will show that they're going to publish the results of the public engagement, running up to the council with plans to knock the market down, getting it passed, behind people's backs. That's not on the agenda yet anyway. So we've got a few months at least, possibly a few years, thanks to all the people who've made it clear they want the market. May I?
Of course.
You're so good, Madam Compere. Christmas fun day at the market on the 21st of December.
So 21st of December.
12 to 3. Santa in his grotto.
Well, that's fun.
And traders, I believe, will be giving out refreshments and mince pies.
Just give us a date and a time again, Pauline.
21st of December, 12 to 3.
12 to 3 o'clock.
And the market, when's the market closed over Christmas? It's very simple this year.
Mm-hmm.
It's only closed on the bank holidays. That is Christmas Day, Boxing Day, and New Year's Day.
Right. That sounds really fun. So it's only going to be closed on bank holiday, Christmas Day, and the day after, right? So 3 days.
Christmas Day, yeah. No, yes.
Christmas
Day,
Boxing Day.
Yep, and then also the fun day on the market is 21st December, 12 to 3, Green Street, Upton Park, right? That sounds really fun. I might pop down, try and basically take gifts off children.
Okay. It didn't go well last time.
But so we've got some positivity in the pipeline in terms of how the lights have been addressed, because hopefully all this discourse has improved something as well. So what's been happening? So the traders complained about the lights. Nothing was done for a long time because we've been talking about it for at least a month and a half. But they have at least got some feedback about the lights.
They've got some feedback that been consulted. But as for the car park, if you see your councillor or you see the mayor in the supermarket or at your place of worship, grab them and say, fix those lights in the car park, I would suggest.
Oh, okay.
I would also suggest that we believe it when we see it, because it was a demand going years back that the lighting should improve, and they actually made the lighting worse. They actually decreased the number of lights, and the lighting was actually poorer. So, you know, that's pretty rubbish. And their justification is, wait for it, the market is classified as a highway. Well, how does that work? It's not a highway, it's a market. So I would suggest this is just a stupidness to, you know, just a made up excuse, because it's patently not a highway unless you, well, it's not a highway, is it? So no. It's just a stupid excuse, and it shows their contempt for the market, I would say. So we need to keep the pressure,
people of Newham.
Exactly. We need to keep the pressure up and make sure that there is improved lighting and it's not a blankety blank highway. And I would suggest the whole car park silliness fits into this as well, because people have been traders in particular and shoppers have been complaining about the car park and stupidness, like the fact that people can only pay via an app and all this sort of stuff for ages. And so this fact of no lighting at all in the car park, which obviously makes it dangerous and makes people fearful of trying it, is only the latest episode in this.
It's ridiculous, really, like having to use an app to use a car park, especially considering the amount of different kind of customers that Queen's Market has. So it's clear that traders are still being kept in the dark, literally, figuratively, and literally.
Yeah.
It's a shame, because I know that when it's winter and it's dark, I don't like leaving the house. It feels really depressing. So if I have dragged myself out, I also don't want to be meandering around in the dark. So yeah, I can see how it's affecting business, and I'm sure the customers don't like it. The traders don't like it. Don't see who benefits from there being a lack of lighting. You would think that they would maybe even put something temporary in place, just for safeguarding.
It's basic health and safety, isn't it? How can you have a car park? You meant to park in the dark, go up and down steps in the dark. It gets dark about 4 o'clock now. Yeah. Can't have a car park with no lights.
And 4 o'clock, most people haven't finished work.
No,
so of course, like, so many people haven't been able to go and get their bits yet.
Well, the market's on until 6 o'clock, and even for Newham Council, this is new low that the lights in the car park have stopped working. It's just a basic level of, you know, what's happened to health and safety.
Well, I was going to say, like, I don't know what the details on health and safety is, but seeing as the traders have already told the consultants and the council, customers, I'm sure, are complaining. We're on here chewing their ear off as well. Surprising that they haven't done something just on a safety level, just to protect, especially
How long has it been, Pauline,
school
that the lights have
kids,
not been working?
Parents.
I heard somebody say
Is it
that
a
they
week
didn't
or?
think the lights have been switched on in the evenings at all. But
So the lights are there, but they're just not being switched on. I don't know what is.
Then that they were switched on, but then they didn't work. That's what I've heard. I may have got it wrong, friends. I might have got it a bit upside down.
Well, it's either...
Mr. Sharma does through the chair.
Okay. Well, we're going to actually jump on with Mr. Sharma literally after the break. But what other good news have we got? Anything in the pipeline of positivity to do with the market? Other than speaking about the lights?
And how are the new stalls going at the front? Is that progressing, or?
I think, well, they've been promised that they'll be finished by February. So that's something.
That's a promise.
What about the hoarding that through this blizzard collapsed
Hold on, we're talking about good news now.
Right. So
Good news
apparently,
for the
like,
market.
other than the great Christmas fun day on 21st of December, just to reiterate, 12 to 3 p.m., and the fact that they've got back to us about the lights, that is as positive as we can be.
That's a minute.
But
also that the market is that we've got much more time to tell people about the market.
That's
about
true.
What's going on? Spread the word because they're not as far forward as we thought.
yeah, that is good news,
Yes,
actually.
Yes. In fact, we don't know what's happening. We do know one program manager's left and the market's been moved to another department. So I think this is good news.
Yes.
People don't check. If something's going very well, people don't mess about with
No.
it.
That's
You
true.
start changing your actors when
At a bureaucratic level, if people are pivoting and passing over the blame, then clearly the wool isn't being pulled over as many people's eyes as I'm sure they hoped. Okay, let's move on. Let's talk about the market more broadly. Like, I haven't been there in like the last 2 weeks. Have any of you guys been down there recently? Like, because last time I was there, the shutters were like up around the whole front of the market. And then there was a sign saying we're open as usual, but you couldn't even see down the aisle where there were a few stalls that were still open.
It was like that today when I went past.
Oh, so the shutters are still up. The shutters are still up. The stalls are still mainly at the back.
Still up, yeah.
But the work, and also I've heard that the work isn't going to be started. Some of the work that they thought was going to get started this winter might not get started until next year now.
Well, the council are saying that there's some kind of problem with the foundations of the old stalls that were there. So I don't know what that means, whether they're going to pour concrete down there, to make new foundations or what.
Okay.
But they know what's there because they did it. They built it.
I mean, I'm not a tradesman, so I can't really comment on the foundations except for the people. But what were we talking about when we were saying just before we jumped on? We were talking about housing more broadly in general and the fact that some people think that housing being built on the market is a good thing. What do you guys think?
We're wholly in favour of more housing because housing is a big issue. Well, we know it's an issue nationally and including in London, but particularly in Newham. There are lots of homeless people and people in very poor housing. But our line is that the market is not the place to put housing because you can either have a market or you can have housing. There's some housing there already, but there are other places in Newham which would be far better suited for housing. You wouldn't propose building housing in the middle of a supermarket. Why are you proposing building housing in the middle of a market? It's just a nonsense. The two are not compatible. So I think people have quite rightly want more housing and more social housing, more to the point.
Yeah, of course.
That's the key point.
Rents that people going to afford.
Yeah, everyone wants
a secure tenancy.
Exactly. Everyone wants more housing given that where we are, but it's got to be housing that people can afford. If it's just more housing for people with money, which is what Newham's proposing, then that's not benefiting. And if you're on top of that, you're putting in a site that doesn't suit. We've seen what's happened to the other markets in Newham over the years. They put in housing and the market's gone because, I'm sorry, we don't count 3 or 4 stalls as a market. So that's what's going to happen unless we stop it, and we will wholly support social housing being built elsewhere in the borough. Some of us were very active in opposing the plans for the Boleyn ground, the old West Ham ground, which again ended up as being luxury flats, barring about 30 flats out of 800. So, we are wholly supportive of social housing in the right place.
Yeah, because I think that gets confused, doesn't it? When you say we don't want you to build housing or social housing on the market, it makes it seem like, oh, we're against housing or social housing. But I think we're all in the housing crisis together. I think generally speaking, most people, Newham residents want more affordable.
All over Newham, there's no shortage of land or space.
Yeah.
But we want council housing. We want housing where people can afford to pay the rent and not be in poverty. We want secure tenancy agreements, proper tenancy agreements. We're not against housing, but we're just saying that the market is a vital resource.
Why does it have to be either or?
It's part of the fabric of Newham.
Yeah, no, fair enough.
The
Pauline?
market.
You see, our position is that what's being proposed for Newham, for the market, is not social housing. There's no way it's going to be social housing. A private developer won't build social housing on such a prestigious site. Across London, the amount of social housing on the new developments is 4 to 6%. So if they built their 250 flats, we'd be lucky if we saw 10, 15
That is
social
shocking.
rent homes, and that's not an acceptable trade-off to lose all that low-cost, valuable, fresh food for just a tiny handful. And it's very likely that the developer would do what they call a viability assessment and not provide any social housing at all. So really, it's not a case of us being against social housing on the site. It's not going to arise. And what people also forget, probably because they're not as old as me, is that there's loads of social housing at the back of the market in Tolpuddle Avenue.
Yeah.
And this would be pulled down. So we would end up
pull down social housing, and
Yes.
then ideally in our dream situation, maybe house around 10 to 15, probably not even families, probably 5 families, 5 couples, 5, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, but there'd be a net loss. Because,
a
you
huge
pull
net
down
loss.
30 units of social housing, you build 15 at Tolpuddle Avenue, you build 15 on the market, it's a net loss.
That is shocking that they would even suggest something like that.
15's a figure I plucked from the air. I'm not
Yeah,
very
no,
good at
obviously,
sums.
don't take us too literally, but we just mean generally speaking,
but
the
Pauline,
percentages
haven't we got figures of council housing
way too low.
for the last couple of years in Newham?
Social rent. Yes. The last year that we have social rent homes completed is 2022 to 2023.
Yeah.
During that period, Newham Council completed and delivered 26 homes for social rent.
26 homes for social rent. That is
don't like building homes.
That is just not good enough, especially in Newham, in a borough where the waiting list is so long and there's so many people and vulnerable people, especially. I'm sure that we walk up and down streets and notice the vulnerability uptick on the rise.
Newham's population is growing. People are coming from other places.
Of course.
It's in Newham because of the cost of housing. Rents.
Right, Stan, we've got to go on a break. After that, we're going to jump back on with Mr. Sharma and just carry on this chat.
Mr. Sharma.
and online.
Yeah, I've got my glasses.
Okay. Welcome back, guys. You're tuned in to Revive FM 94.0, where the heart of Newham community beats. We're back with Friends of the Queen, but we've done a swapsies. Pauline has left. Sant is back. And we've got our guest today, who's Mr. Sharma, a trader from the market.
Yeah.
Welcome, Mr. Sharma. We're glad to have you here today.
Hello, good evening.
How are you?
That's fine, thanks.
Good, good.
Thank
Good. How long have you been at the market?
you. Since 1985.
1985. Gosh, you've been at the market longer than I've been alive. I can respect that. What about you guys? Do you guys remember the market in 1985?
It was a busy market.
Busy.
And you had really all sorts of people there. You had all sorts of people. But it was going through this transition period at that time.
Was there loads of
especially the
punks? That's
demographic
what I'm.
changes.
It has.
Yeah. 85 was a sort of changing time. 89 was a changing time. Plus, it was going through a sort of a racial issue as well, the market. It was going through a lot of, a lot of the people that were there for some time, and I'm not going to use the word, sort of white Irish and white, whatever it was. They had been there for many, many years.
Yeah.
And they were growing old.
Well, they're real cockneys.
Well, they were.
Oh, right. So it was like another demographic change moment as well. So I'm guessing was there like clashes between communities then? So I'm guessing was it that era of where hooliganism and community and...
answer that because he's witnessed everything.
Yes, when we started, actually, market used to be busy in the morning. Stall holders, they used to come 4 o'clock to set the stalls.
Yeah.
4 a.m.
4 a.m. By the time we used to open the shop, 7:30. Like half of them, they had done all the shopping then.
That is amazing. I'm barely
It
in
was
bed sometimes.
It was a really busy market.
People used to get there early.
Early
People
start.
are setting up their buying. As they're setting up their buying. I remember a lot of that.
Because people, they used to come from far.
From
Not
far.
local only. They used to come from far.
Yeah, that means people would have had to be popping in before work as
Yeah.
well. Like popping into the market, grab some stuff, I guess take it with you, then take it home later, especially if they're coming from further away. Right. How many times have you been scared? Because we always talk about this. Like Friends of Queen's Market is 21 years old. The threat to the market is an adult if it was a person. How many times have you been scared that the market was going to go?
Actually, when I bought the business, people, they were talking, why you bought at this time?
They were asking why.
Yes, because I spent money. So why? Yes, asking market is going.
Oh, so they thought you'd come in too late.
I came in too late. But still, then in 2001,
Yeah.
again, there was big threat.
Yeah.
Traders, shopkeepers in the market,
Hmm.
they were scared. Still we are.
Of course.
We don't know what's going to happen. We can't make improvement to the business because if we invest today, we don't know what will happen tomorrow.
I mean, tomorrow is never promised, but I guess seeing the threats continuously come and you're still standing, Mr. Sharma, must give you quite a lot of hope. Like, how important the market
Yes,
is.
because our whole family was involved.
Yeah.
So to look after the family, we had to do something.
So was it like a family business? Did you have like kids, partner, all like working, doing bits and bobs?
Yeah.
That's quite nice. Did you enjoy working like with family?
Yes, very good.
Oh, okay. I wouldn't.
It was a teamwork.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm going to say one thing. When I stood in that shop and I spoke to some people, I think that's a Caribbean thing.
Yeah.
Some old ladies, and I said, what is he like? He's a bit of a miserable man. I said, what? I said, I've known him for a long time, So people were bringing in their children, or they're bringing in their grandchildren. So this is a generational thing.
That's so true. It's
And
intergenerational.
that's what I found when I was standing in there just talking to a few people, random people.
That's such a beautiful part of your job. What is it like watching your customers grow up, watching your customers bring their children, and then suddenly maybe they're not shopping there, but their children are?
But people, their children, they come with the parents.
Yeah.
They say, "Do you remember me? I
Aww.
used to go to Lister School.
Oh, lovely.
Do you remember me?"
It sounds like
I used
bumping
to
into
come
a
to-
teacher.
Yesterday,
Yeah.
one lady came, Caribbean lady.
Yeah.
I served her. She bought a lottery and everything,
Hmm.
and she said to someone else,
Yeah.
"You know this man? I know him when his hairs were black."
Really? How could she?
And she
That
said,
is hilarious.
"I keep coming to this shop long time." So
That's so sweet. But it shows as
it-
well
it,
that
it
you.
gives us satisfaction.
Yeah.
Actually, people because my wife used to come,
Hmm.
and still people they say, "How is the lady?
Yeah.
Why she's not coming?" Right,
Yeah.
all that. Yeah.
It's nice though,
Yeah.
people who like have that familiarity with you and the family, and also you just getting to show up as yourself, and you know people know you and they respect you, and you have that back and forth relationship where we don't really have that anymore when it comes to shopping. I know that when I'm walking through Westfields, I don't feel like I've ever recognized a face, even in shops that I do like regularly frequent, if I'm being honest. That's not because I don't like smile and say hello. It's just you don't really get to have those kind of conversations. I guess people don't have time, but at your stall or shop, sorry, is it a stall or a shop?
Sure.
In your shop, I'm sure you get people coming in and they actually have a chat with you.
Yes, they do.
They'll give you that 10 minutes.
But I think it's a very sorry. It seems like like an extended family, that shop. People walk in there and they walk around and they're like want to push you out of the way when they get there. They know exactly where things are.
Yeah.
They know where things are. And because they know where things are, they just walk past you, like zoom past you. You have to just stand on the side. And it's like they don't talk half the time. It's just eye contact. It's just money down and gone. You can see that this is a generation, and this is built up over time.
Yeah.
You know, it's like taking a corner shop. Used to be the centre of a community of about 4 or 5 streets. Everybody used to go to the corner shop. You know, they'll have a little slate in there. If you can't afford any, your money never came in, your wages never came in.
Tab.
Yeah, a little tab in there, and that was a lot of these corner shops was like that.
Yeah, that's true. I remember that.
Yeah, and this is like a corner shop moved in.
Yeah.
You know, and into a market space. So I think, and remember, at that time, I don't think you had the roof covering in 85.
I came after that.
It came after that.
Okay.
But that's what we've consistently said, that the council do not understand that community in the true sense of the word is a lot of what the market is about. Is about people coming along, chatting, is about that interaction, that support, that friendship, that getting to know people over time, which it's one of the places where that's still happening, and that's something that's diminishing without getting into all the sort of golden days. You know, life was better 30 years ago, 50 years, 100 years ago, whatever, what people always do, and isn't necessarily true because you're only remembering the good bits.
Yeah.
What we're talking about is a real thing that we can back up, that's there in a way that doesn't happen in supermarkets and what have you. Not because the people working in supermarkets are nasty people.
Exactly.
They're no better or worse than the rest of us, but it's a wholly different space. You're talking about a space where people can be relaxed and go along, and for some of those people, be they elderly or be they women who are mostly tied up, most of the time they're tied up with looking after kids, cleaning the house, whatever. This one, the few times they can get out and actually meet other people, chat to other people, and they formed a friendship over time because they've been coming to the same places over months and years, and that's a very valuable and quite an unusual
Yeah,
thing
it
these
is.
days, isn't
It
it?
is.
That's such a good point. What else do you guys think? Like, what do you wish that more people knew about Queen's Market? Because I feel like that's such a good point. We always underestimate its social value. But what else?
What do I wish? Or
What do
do
you
I
wish that
experience?
people knew? You
Well,
can't always tell or
You
show.
always get a
but-
bargain.
Well,
That's
Well,
true.
I mean, I've gone there.
People, they come to the market, good price, good service. They come in and out.
Mm,
Only one thing has affected us more
yeah.
is car parking.
Yeah.
If it has been given at least 1 hour or 45 minutes free car parking, and then after that they can charge. And people, they come quickly and then go. And other thing is antisocial behavior. We have suffered all along. Since we opened it, sometimes it goes down, sometimes, and at present is very high.
But yeah,
Yeah,
that's a
very
good
high.
point. But I mean, so that's one reason, why we're talking about things like lighting, because obviously the worst, if there's no lighting or poor lighting, then that
Of course.
encourages antisocial behaviour.
Yeah.
So, but what some people don't understand and what the council deliberately misunderstands is that we are not saying keep the market exactly as it is. All along, we have said we want better lighting, proper flooring, proper cleaning, a proper roof that doesn't leak. We have a number of concrete demands that need to
Get rid of the pigeons.
that need to come through, and these things will make the market a better place for everyone, and obviously have a big impact on, as Mr. Sharma rightly says, antisocial behaviour, which are
There's an assumption as well that people like Newham residents, we're resistant to change. But I know, I've lived here all my life, that this place has always been changing, and I don't see a lot of pushback against it when it benefits the people that live here.
No,
Sorry,
change,
Sam, what you can say?
We've always put up with change. The thing is, we're not part of the change. That's
Hit the nail on the head right there.
We're not part of this change, this evolution, this interaction. We're not part.
We want good change.
Yeah, it seeks to
We're not
exclude
part of it.
us in
And
a
that's
very
where it's wrong.
Yeah, it is wrong, and that's something that bothers me. It's one of the reasons why I wanted to make the film about it, because I think, as we were talking about, like in the 80s and the different demographic changes from a Jewish communities, Irish communities, Asian communities, Afro-Caribbean communities, there's always been changes in communities, Eastern European communities, maybe Chinese communities. Like, the point isn't the communities that frequent the market. The point is that it's a hub for predominantly working class people until now, possibly.
But the thing is, you've got to look at it. Where else will you ever get this word I was introduced to is dwell time. Where would you get that increased dwell time if it isn't in a market? And all the stats say that it's in a market, in an area where people congregate. That's where you get dwell time. What do you get from dwell time? You get communication. Whether it's an accidental, or whether it's a touch, or just a look or a glance, it's all part of the mental well-being. It's all a part of, building familiarity.
Yeah.
That is being eroded away.
Being less isolated. And I think
less isolated. They're the places that we don't need to have them go to a library. We don't need to be tucking people away. We need them in the open, in the fresh air, mixing together. There should be benches in that market where people could sit there around a table and talk about things. There should be, somewhere where there's a bit of warmth there, they could sit there. But it's not there because they're making it so alienated for the public. You cannot sanitize a market. It just doesn't work. And a market is meant to be packed with people, meant to be hustle, bustle, noise. You cannot mix that with the housing, right, what they want to put there, because Brick Lane, we've got people that have moved in that area and they're trying to change it because they don't want to put up with the noise no more. But the market
all over London, it's happening.
The market's been there for years making that noise. It's that noise that keeps it alive.
It's the noise that brings attention to the place and it makes people want to live there. So it's strange then to cater to the voices of people who then
That's what they moved in there for.
be turned out of it. I completely agree with you there. And I also think there's a bit of like patronization on this concept that people don't know what they like and what they want and how they want to connect. There's almost this, I think for 100 years, despite different politics, different groups of people, different classes of people in the market, I think there was always like an accepted, okay, people are allowed the bare minimum. But now even the bare minimum of like connecting with each other, creating community and affordable food, it's like, well, actually what you need is flats. And it's strange to have got here because for so long, so many people weren't politicized because they had just about enough, or they were happy, or they were healthy. And now we're kind of getting to the stage where, as you say, if we were to suggest benches, they'd probably look at us like, what do you need benches for? Because we're not aspiring to maybe their version of seating.
But the only acceptable things are things that make money. So if the benches made money, they would be fine.
Yeah.
But
they,
that's
don't give them any ideas, Andrew, because they'll put coins in them.
But that is wholly.
Why can't we have a warm hub at the market?
Yes, that is wholly what it's about. Yeah.
Why can't we have a tea and a coffee?
Yeah.
It's just that I believe that the council is frightened of investing in that asset, and it should be a historical community asset. And I think they're frightened to invest in there because they are worried about its positive outcome and what will happen.
Absolutely.
I really believe it because Queen's Market is known all over, even in Europe. People come from Europe to come to that market. So my belief is, they're too frightened to invest in there. And that's the problem we got, because they do not know where our future is, because we're leaving it in the hands of people who are not going to stay. The people are staying.
True. People who are less invested in the area, and it's just the flat that they like.
They're not even invested in mind. So they may come here and talk, and the market will stay. But in what form will it stay? Who are going to go? I mean, you go into a coffee shop, it's £4, £5 for a coffee. I mean, it will just cost you a fortune. You know, so what I'm getting at is that it's not been invested in. It's not the lighting. I've gone up there late at night and it's pitched up.
Yeah, no, that can't run. Mr. Sharma,
that is pitched up.
If the market were to go, what would you miss the most about it?
We will miss a lot. I spent all nearly how many years?
Almost 40.
40 next year.
Yeah.
40 years, yeah.
So the people.
Could I just ask Mr. Sharma, what, good or bad, what is the biggest difference of the market from 1985 to today?
Big difference.
Yeah.
Big difference.
It can be good or bad.
Those days it was too busy.
Yeah.
Now it's not busy.
Not busy enough. Well, you heard it here from Mr. Sharma. We need to get down there more.
Because the main thing is car park.
Yeah.
And antisocial behavior. It's the big thing.
And when you hear the word development, what's the first thing that do you think? Do you think exciting opportunity, or do you think bulldozer?
All the traders and the shopkeepers,
they're
scared.
So more fear than excitement. Even though I'm sure you want improvements.
How can we put money in whether we don't know when we are going?
They're standing on clay ground. And that's what the council wants. And I criticise the council, but they want people to be in this unsafe, insecure, high anxiety level space. They don't want them to be comfortable in that space. No, it's not a business-friendly environment.
And that's a shame, because when we say they want people, the people we're talking about are people like Mr. Sharma, who have just worked to serve the community of Newham for the last 40 years. So the types of people that they're going up against are the best of our community. What's the first thing that comes to mind when you think of Queen's Market?
Queen's Market actually is an asset to the area.
Absolutely.
Asset to the Newham. If Queen's Market goes,
yeah,
that's it. the area, the Newham will lose big, like community.
There's a reason why things happen there as well. Even like the £1 fish man. Okay, I know that was just like a viral joke thing, but there's a reason why.
They're still selling fish.
There's a reason why like magic like that can just like happen though. There, it's a thing, isn't it? Of like the ecosystem of the market. And after 30 years at the market, what do you think Queen's Market says about the people that have walked its stalls? Like, what do you think about the people that
The stall people, like
both? It can be
customers.
your fellow traders or
It's good.
the customers.
In the market, stall holders or the shopkeepers, we are a family.
Yeah, so you're all mates.
We are all mates. I have spoken to many people outside, like, shopping centers and all that. They said the atmosphere you got nowhere.
Wow. I can imagine.
Even the customers, as I said, they come from far. They come from Canning Town, Stratford, Dagenham, and all
The
that.
Midlands, even I've talked about.
Long way.
Yeah.
And also, as Andrew said, people that come from abroad look for Queen's Market.
It's true. People do want to see Green Street. There should be taught some kind of heritage tour. You're absolutely
Last month
right.
I went to Canada.
Yeah.
And I went to a shop, Asian man, and we said hello, and I introduced, yes, I live in London and all that. He said, I go there. When I go there, I go to Queen's Park. But he goes to India, on the way, stopover, and he said he goes to Queen's Market because his relatives live nearby.
Yeah.
He goes to the market and the Green Street, and then he goes to India.
So he actually does like a stop off. Like he cannot miss the Queen.
We enjoy it. Like
that's nice. That's nice.
So people, they know not only here, even other parts of the world. Yeah.
That is really like heartwarming to know that it's in so many people's rituals of like their lives.
But that's the point, isn't it? It's a real living thing that people have built. We don't want it demolished and have luxury flats, and it just becomes like everywhere else. You know, you go around places and you think,
no soul, no character.
I don't know how is this part of London different to the other parts of London I've just been through? They all look the same. They all have the same shops. Coffees and bread at, coffees at £4 or £5, bread at silly prices. It's absolutely soulless, dominated by traffic. Nowhere where people have the opportunity to go around a number of stalls and look for different things. People go around. The management have got this line, the market management, that we don't want too many fruit and veg stalls. Well, that's one reason people go to the market, is so they can go around 10 or 15 different stalls and what are the best looking avocados or bananas or whatever, what price, look at them all. And, but as you'll be astonished to learn that the council have no idea about this, or they don't want to have any idea about this. But that's the reality. That's what people want. And they want to go somewhere where, as we've said, they are mixing with people, they're chatting to people. We learned from the pandemic, how important it was to get out of the house and meet people and interact with people. Well, let's not throw away that lesson, which was really brought home to us by being locked down and locked in necessarily. We've got to keep places where people do mix like this.
But you're right, Andrew, like everywhere does look the same. And I don't think it's just in London. I think it's a weird global thing that's happening, because I've been in like coffee shops in Berlin and I'm like, this doesn't even feel predominantly like a German vibe. Like everywhere looks gentrified the same, and we're losing like the character of like the culture of a place. And I think one of the greatest things about the market is, once again, it is not resistant to change. The character of the place actually changes decade to decade to decade. It's just that we want it to continue to serve the people.
We've had the council make 2 disastrous decisions. Why not let this one be the people's decision? Why don't let the people decide what to do with the market?
I like that, like a people's forum, like a decentralized.
Let the people decide. Let the government fund it, right, and then decide.
And put it to the people to a vote.
Give it 50 years, put the funding in there. You are not losing nothing. You're not losing nothing. The land doesn't move. You're still going to be there.
Yeah.
Give it 50 years. Put all the investment in there. Bright lighting, sort the flooring out. Put some friendly,
Do the basics.
Areas in there.
Yeah.
Brighten up the whole area. Right. Proper brighten up. None of this rubbish stuff. Right. Brighten it up. Make it inviting. I mean, you could do performances, art performances in the evening. Now, Apple Cart have done that in the past.
Yeah.
So, but they said that if we had a much cleaner area,
You have to say what Apple Carts are in case people don't know.
they're a local what were they, art.
Oh, okay. So like an art and cultural
Yeah.
community.
They've
Oh,
got
okay.
a
That's
place
fun.
in Pasha Park. So I spoke to them. They said they're
Shout out to you.
So what I'm trying to sort of say is, we should have bands there. We should have music there. Why are we waiting for flats to go on top? That is unaffordable, right?
Mm-hmm.
For that to happen, it may not even happen because they may think, why do we want to give the rest of the space away? Because once you lose control, it's gone.
Yeah.
They're not going to have consultations again. We've had consultations. We've been there. They've never experienced what we gave them, and we've got these post-its that people, hundreds and hundreds of post-its, right? That's saying that the market should stay. It has a purpose. It needs to be improved. The traders, they need to be. They're not asking for a handout. They're asking for the landlord to do what they should be doing, and that is improve the house.
Yeah.
Stop it from leaking. Improve the flooring. Lighting in the car park. Listen, they're doing a women survey on women's safety. Women are young. There's a survey going on. I mean, Newham is not a women-friendly, female-friendly space, let alone for males.
And building housing isn't going to solve that.
It's not going to solve it.
No, it's like building a basement on a floodplain, essentially.
Let us decide. You screw the others. Let us decide. Then let's see what happens. 50 years. Give them the space they need to develop and their business to flourish. Then see what you could do with the money that comes out of there.
Right, we're going to move on to some of the post-it notes. San, as you've so rightly put, we need to hear from the people, and the consultants said they were going to publicize some of the post-it notes, but luckily Friends of the Queens noted them all down. So we're going to go through a couple of them now. Stan, do you want to start us off?
Yeah, a lot of people said no luxury flats, no demolition. Another thing people said was,
all right, straight to the point.
Yeah,
No luxury
shop
flats,
and
no
store
demolition.
must stay, no luxury flats.
Stan?
I've got, because I come under Lime, and it's got, please keep the market, no luxury flats, thank you. And it got in there.
Once again, no luxury flats. So already we're getting the sense that even though people want social housing, they don't want luxury flats.
It's got unless they happen, it's hard to support this because the interest isn't about community but profit. Now, this is all here, written here. They don't have to listen to me. They can ask for a printout. We'll give you a printout.
Mr. Sharma, what would you like to see as an improvement? What would you put on your post-it note?
Good flooring.
Good flooring, easy. Not asking for much.
Proper lighting.
Proper lighting, safety, once again. Car park, just looking out for everybody.
Antisocial behavior.
And just
should be managed.
Yeah, obviously managing antisocial behavior. So
Fix
just
the holes in the
safeguarding
roof.
the space.
Yeah, good roof.
Yeah, and just
Yeah,
improvements
we are not
generally.
asking anything else.
And we don't want
Right.
a pigeon's nest above us.
Andrew, more post-its.
Right, I'm Cream. Markets create communities, provide cheap, affordable food. Clean it up, less rubbish, but don't change it. More bins. If prices go up, there's no point coming here.
Fair enough.
The market is a good service for the community. The community would be much the poorer without it. Let the market
Oh,
live
that's
on,
nice.
so we may live also.
Oh, that's quite nice. So just people kind of echoing what we say here, that they don't want to see the community disappear. Stan, any more post-its?
I mean, people repeated themselves. Leave it, reject, so-called regeneration.
So that's a good one, because I feel like the reason why that is a good one is because it shows that the language that they're using is not going over people's eyes. They can see, hey,
We've seen it all before.
you're saying regeneration, but who is this going to be regenerated for?
My market used to be East End Market, and they promised us the market will always be there. That was the words from the councillors.
Yeah.
So they built the blocks of flats there that local people can't afford to live in. Gave them a nice car park. Where's our market? Gone. But we're going to save Queen's Market, and we're going to make it better than it's ever been.
I've got some lime. I'm on the line. It said,
By the way, they're screaming out colours because the post-it notes were on different colours.
Different
Yeah.
Keep market, improve lighting, floor. It sort of reverberates a lot of things that's going through a lot of this. Better lighting. No, we don't like this plan. Support the market as it is. Don't support the development. Like market as it is. Hello, I just like the market. Can be refurbished, cool. So many memories.
As it is. So many people like the market as it is. And I'm sure those people are not going to be angry at the new lighting or hate the new flooring. I think they're just trying to say that they like the traders, they like the stalls, they like what's sold there, and they like coming and knowing what they can get there, and they want it to stay like that. And because we know that when markets like this are gentrified, what gets sold is change, and they start to obviously target the demographic of the luxury flat people who will be living there. And no shade to them, it's not your fault, but naturally,
Getting rid of the market is an attack on the poor, right, and impoverished, and the struggling families. And that's the thing. And people talk about entrepreneurial. No one talks about entrepreneurial. We talk about common, local wealth development. Mr. Sharma is an example.
He is an example, the best example we have.
Community wealth.
For real though.
I mean, you can't get
a self-made man who started a business, family
Put
business.
the school, paid a mortgage for it, done it, bought a car, got kids through schooling, education, university. If that is not community, I have no idea what definition it is. He epitomizes that. He is the example of, and that is coming out of Queen's Market. Queen's Market develops people like Sharma, and Mr. Sharma developed the market.
People like who shop at Queen's Market. Yeah.
It's a symbiotic relationship between everything.
And it's about the advice that you can give and take from each other. And I think it's a lot harder to give and take advice when one of the parties is obviously more privileged and the advice is have money. And there's nothing wrong with having money either. It's just that it's hard, I think. And seeing people like Mr. Sharma who are just hard grafters who work their way up, they're able to support their families and still serve their community, make money and be a community builder, to take that away and go, no, we just want money. Is very sad.
If you took those entrepreneurs out of that market, that space, took those, the question you said that, what's a positive thing that somebody felt that I went in there and I've gone in there on a Sunday, I felt a sense of positiveness in the market. That's what I felt, is the positiveness in the market from the trading, from the shops, from the fish market. I see that. They're out there having a chat. We've created little stalls out there where they're going on these TikToks, right? So you see a lot of TikTok videos, right, that are coming up at Queen's Market. There is positiveness in there. It just needs to be reignited and re-nurtured, fostered.
There's an opportunity for growth.
It is.
Absolute growth.
Yeah, well, we've all along suggested positive ways, as Mr. Sharma said, positive things that if they're implemented, they will improve the market. I've now become lavender because I'm very changeable. No to development, but better lighting and roof. Risk of losing vulnerable people who shop here. It's a valuable social space.
Wow, that's one of the best ones.
Alone. So,
Yeah, well, you heard it here. Leave the market alone. It's been the most common consensus. And when it comes to improvements, the improvements are ones that the traders have already suggested. So we've come to the end of our show. Mr. Sharma, we've loved having you. We hope you felt the love.
You're welcome. Thanks.
Thank you to all our listeners and viewers across social media. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe to our YouTube page, Revive FM UK. Have a great day. And until next time, this has been Khadija with Friends of Queen's Market, and hopefully see you soon.
Thank
Bye,
you.
guys.
Thank you.